It's great to have such wonderful partners like Neighbors for Neighbors.
It's because of programs like Neighbors for Neighbors that really pitch in with the community support.
It's an amazing feeling when you have that support behind you.
There are people out there that really need the help, and a program like Neighbors for Neighbors really opens the door.
For 2 decades, Neighbors for Neighbors built a legacy upon connecting the community and helping neighbors in need.
Welcome to the Neighbors for Neighbors Summer Special, Helping Feels Good. I'm Nicole Maristani. Every season, we put together some of our favorite stories to share with you, our viewers. These stories are all about Neighbors for Neighbors making connections in our community with help from neighbors like you. And as you're about to see, each story celebrates the giving spirit of South Florida, showing us all how helping feels good. And we hope it inspires you to join us in helping our neighbors in need. We begin with a story that really shows the power of Neighbors for Neighbors collaboration. Earlier this year, we were very proud to launch helpingfeelsgood.org, a new website to help nonprofits and volunteers connect. In just a few short months, we've seen the site grow with new volunteers registering every day and agencies logging on to take advantage of a valuable resource. So you can imagine our excitement over our very first match. Take a look at how a professional looking for a meaningful community project used her skills to give back to a group of young adults aging out of foster care.
We never would have dreamed to have come into contact with a volunteer who could bring so much to our organization.
Casa Valentina provides resources to young adults aging out of foster care. They're using helpingfeelsgood.org to post projects and connect with volunteers like professional organizer Gail Jacobs.
There's nothing better than to be able to volunteer doing something you love to do, and I love organizing.
Gail's making over the community room for Casa Valentina.
I wanted to change the color, bring a little more brightness. Some of the furniture is really damaged and needs to be replaced. Some of the drawers in the kitchen, they're broken, and the storage isn't as adequate as we need.
She enjoyed the project so much, she thought about other ways she could stay involved.
I met with the girls, and I really have fallen in love with them and felt that this is something that I can do not on a one-time basis, but over a long period of time.
And helping their residents learn valuable life skills along the way.
It's an amazing opportunity. First of all, it opens up a whole new level of services, things that we can't do because we don't have the expertise, or things that if we tried to do, it would be so difficult for us.
Helpingfeelsgood.org gives nonprofits access to experts, volunteers with special skills or interests. It takes little effort but offers a big payback.
It's really easy to use. The more projects you have, the more you can think of.
There was just such a connection with an organization that I could do what I'm best at.
It's clear that the residents at Casa Valentina feel a connection too.
It's an amazing feeling when you have that support behind you. It seems like it opens a lot of doors, a lot of opportunities.
Since Casa Valentina first posted this project, they've entered several more and have many matches. This hurricane season, we're also using helpingfeelsgood.org as a place where you can register the skills and resources you have to share in the event of a natural disaster. By indicating you'd like to help with disaster response or recovery in your volunteer profile, you can help our community heal after a storm. Nurses give of their hearts to heal others, and that's why our friends at Christ Fellowship Church entered a project on helpingfeelsgood.org to give back to the nurses who help us all feel better. The team delivered care packs to nearly 4,000 nurses during their Love Miami Volunteer Week. During the week, the group posted and participated in additional projects serving firefighters, teachers, the elderly, and families in crisis. And now on to another group of very special nurses who literally cashed in their savings to support, rehabilitate, and heal seriously ill children. We had the chance to visit the place they founded and see some of the miracles that happened there too.
I think as being a nurse in a hospital, you intermittently cared for a child and then they went away. You never knew what happened or what the outcome was.
A career in nursing left these women with a lot of questions about long-term care for children with special needs.
We felt the mission was bigger and more important than our individual assets.
So they did something you don't often hear about, cashed in their 401ks, giving up their financial future to ensure the future of others.
These kids, you get, I think you get that gratification that you have made a difference. And, you know, we see miracles here every day.
They founded Patches, a place where children with complicated medical conditions heal, play, and get a lot of love.
Once you walk into this facility, there is no doubt that you are compelled to carry on the torch and do whatever you can do to make a difference.
A team from Leadership Miami took notice and took on Patches as their community project.
You can't do those things that normal children can do. So today we said, we're going to bring this to Patches, and we're going to make sure that the community knows that they exist.
The team created a special room to stimulate the senses of the children, hosted a party, and invited the community to learn more about ways they can support the patients here at Patches.
We're extremely proud, thanks to all of our sponsors that help us get to this point today.
In addition to the projects Patches has listed on helpingfeelsgood.org, there's a wish list of goods they need. For a full list of items like baby and cleaning wipes, paper towels, and more, visit neighborsforneighbors.org. Still ahead, climbing for a cause. Find out why these three women traveled across the world for the freedom of others. Helping our heroes. How veterans are healing out on the water with the help of one local fisherman. And later,
literally 1 minute time and our daughter was taken from us.
Swim safety. The legacy of a little girl gone too soon serves as a reminder to all families to stay safe in and around the water. Stay with us. Hello and welcome back. Many of us raise funds for causes close to our hearts by doing physical challenges like a 5K walk or triathlon. But you're about to meet three local women who took on an adventure of mountainous proportions to bring awareness to the issue of human trafficking.
The demand is increasing, and what we're seeing is it's actually the second to the drug cartel.
The billion-dollar business of human trafficking, made up mostly of women and children taken and sold into sex and slavery.
And 27 million are enslaved worldwide. Statistically speaking, Florida is number 3, and Broward County, we are alive and well with human trafficking.
Alive and well, but not often talked about. That's why these three women, including Neighbors for Neighbors board member Jen Claessens, decided to bring awareness by taking on a big adventure, climbing Mount Everest.
It didn't matter how hard you trained, how old you were, what your physical abilities were. We were all there for the same mission.
Months of training prepared them for the trek.
The mountain itself was symbolic of the climb out of that dark, dark pit, because as we're climbing in the dark and waiting for the sunrise to come, like, oh my goodness, that's what these children and women probably feel like every night.
And after 10 days, the group returned from their travels, forging ahead for the freedom of others.
Well, you know, anybody can do it. They can go out there and be an advocate for these children and women. A lot of people talk to us, well, I could never climb a mountain. Well, you don't have to climb mountains to raise awareness. You don't have to climb mountains to be able to help even raise funds for these children and women.
We're so proud to have a member of our board of directors like Jen Claessens continue our mission through unique ways like the Freedom Climb. South Florida nonprofit organizations got a big boost from public supermarkets this spring. Neighbors for Neighbors was one of more than 60 charities to receive a portion of the $1.65 million in funding from their Food for All campaign. The seasonal fundraiser took place in public stores for just over 6 weeks in the winter holidays. Customers contributed by selecting a donation coupon at the register. The donation amounts were then added to their final grocery bill. Drowning is the leading cause of death for children ages 1 to 4 in South Florida. And with pools, lakes, and canals all around, it's important for families to stay vigilant. Neighbors for Neighbors wants your family to stay safe through our swim safety and drowning prevention campaign. And we've collaborated with the Children's Services Council of Broward County, National Drowning Prevention Alliance, and others to arm you with resources. And as you're about to see from one mother's experience, it's powerful information that saves lives.
Literally 1 minute time and our daughter was taken from us.
Edna Mae McGovern was just a year and a half old when she wandered outside.
Looked around my house, she wasn't there, so then I proceeded to go outside. Went past the pool pretty much when I caught the reflection of M floating in our pool.
People think that when a child's missing, they look under the bed, they look in the closet, they look everywhere except the pool.
All family members were home, but at the time no door alarms had been installed and the pool fence was left open.
In our situation, it could have been a matter of life and death.
With pools, lakes, and canals all around, it's essential parents take precaution.
Identify the risk, minimize it. So safer water, safer kids, safer response. Door locks, door alarms, pool fences, anything that's going to put a barrier up between the child and that body of water.
But the most important safeguard of all, making sure your child learns to swim.
By having your child in swimming lessons, it reduces the risk of drowning by 88%. Literally saves lives.
Another important summer campaign here at Neighbors for Neighbors encourages parents, grandparents, and child caretakers to take a look before they lock, especially during these hot summer months.
On a busy morning, it's easy to forget, but taking a look in the back seat before you lock can save a life.
We need to make sure that everybody understands the importance of checking vehicles to make sure there are no small children left behind by accident.
An accident with potentially deadly consequences.
Florida's statistics of 4th in the nation of children dying from hypothermia. What a horrible statistic.
Hyperthermia is when the body overheats, but if parents put some safeguards in place, it's preventable.
This decal helps remind parents or grandparents or any person, I may have precious cargo in the back. Look before I lock.
Ask for your sticker, put it on your car, and look at it.
Together with the Early Learning Coalition and the Children's Services Council, the Broward County Commission passed an ordinance for all child care centers providing transportation, a mandatory alarm to help the driver make sure no child is left in a vehicle.
That alarm would alert the driver to go to the back of the bus to see if there's a child left in the vehicle.
Between billboards, stickers, and the alarms, the community has really come together to get the word out and encourage everyone to be vigilant.
It's great to have such wonderful partners like Neighbors for Neighbors and the County Commission. It makes the job so much easier.
Autism affects 1 in every 88 children, and every April, Neighbors for Neighbors helps create awareness for autism, sharing the latest programs, resources, and projects helping children and adults living on the spectrum. This spring, the Dan Marino Foundation teamed up with Panera Bread to sell cookies for the cause. The football-shaped sweets were inspired by former Dolphin quarterback Dan Marino. The proceeds benefit the foundation's new college to prepare students with autism for employment in the real world. Marino's son Michael, a successful DJ living with autism, was there to speak about the importance of providing resources to help young adults with autism become successful.
It's been a long journey, since I was really young, first diagnosed with autism, to now, and the foundation's grown a lot. And I would hope that, people with autism, parents and children that see me would think that they could be able to be something like that growing up.
For more on resources to help those living with autism, stay tuned to the end of the show. Between Memorial Day, Flag Day, and the 4th of July, summer is a great time to celebrate those who've dedicated their lives to serving our country. Neighbors for Neighbors was proud to support and participate in sending care packages to servicemen and women deployed overseas with Mission United. Comforts from home, like magazines, toiletries, and treats, filled every inch of the boxes, but we made sure to leave room for some Neighbors for Neighbors kindness cards.
That's the most important thing. One of the most important items in these care packages are actually the thank you cards.
If you'd like kindness cards to share with those you notice performing acts of kindness, stay tuned to the end of the show for contact information. We were also able to celebrate and honor some veterans closer to home, out on the tranquil waters of the Everglades. Take a look at this unique group, helping veterans heal as they go fishing with America's finest.
This is something that I found to help them relax and reconnect with nature and our homeland.
Captain Neil Stark says something special happens when he takes a veteran out on the water.
Who can beat being out in the sun and hearing the birds and all that kind of stuff and catching fish at the same time?
It clears your mind of everything else, and it's just kind of puts you in a nice, comfortable place.
A comfortable place many of these veterans haven't been able to find since returning home.
It's something that never really goes away.
Yeah, I mean, you try not to think about it, but there's always something that brings you back.
Captain Neil created Fishing with America's Finest to help the veterans heal their hearts after war. But as it turns out, his heart has been affected too.
And since I've had the opportunity to take over 200 vets fishing, and each and every one of them has touched my heart.
Local fishing stores and businesses donate everything from lures, lines, and lunch to help keep the organization afloat.
The community has really come together and try to help this program grow.
And that means the world to these veterans.
It's amazing how one veteran connecting with another, the word can spread so fast.
Coming up, musical moment. Find out how Neighbors for Neighbors was instrumental in surprising this young musician. School's in for the summer. School may be out of session, but we'll tell you why we're already planning for the new year. Plus,
and I decided to go on and log in and signed up
About 2 hours later, I got a call.
Computer Connections. A tutor helps a student in need make the grade through helpingfeelsgood.org. Stay with us. Welcome back. The Neighbors for Neighbors Family Fund gives families a hand up during times of crisis. And many times, those who've been helped return to pay it forward and give back to others. 2 years ago, Aaron Harrigan needed help as he struggled to make ends meet and care for his daughter, Liana, after his fiance passed away during childbirth. Aaron lives at Carrefour's supportive housing community, Verde Gardens, and shared the story of another family who'd been through hard times. With things slowly getting better, Aaron wanted to help them get back to the life they once had. So he reached out to see how we could help.
We went through our savings and pretty much lost our house.
In a matter of months, everything changed for the Jennings family after their oldest son suffered a brain injury playing sports and medical bills started to mount.
We went into the shelter, and from the shelter they helped us get this place here in Verde Gardens. When something like that happens, it affects the whole family.
The family of 6 adjusted to a new lifestyle, and expensive extracurricular activities were cut out of the budget.
All the activities they had, the Boys and Girls Club, everything they was going to, we had to stop it because it was no money for it.
It hit 14-year-old Deshaun the hardest.
Music is like what I love to do, and I just had to accept the fact that I was gonna have to take some time off.
Deshaun plays the viola and violin, but the cost of transportation and instrument rental fees became too expensive, so he's patiently waiting to play again.
I see like the stress that my mom goes through, so like I just wait for that time when I can join back inside those classes.
When Neighbors for Neighbors heard about Deshaun's desire to continue making music, we coordinated a special delivery with our friends at the South Florida Youth Symphony.
We hope that this beautiful new viola will help you bring a lot of joy and excitement to you and to all of your families.
So it was smiles all around for the Jennings family, and it sounds like with a little practice, Deshaun will be back on track with his tunes.
So this is a blessing. It's a big blessing.
More musical memories will soon be made by a group of students in Broward County. Here's a look at their year-long goal of making it across the pond for a performance fit for a queen.
Band has literally been pretty much everything.
Mainly, I'm a trombone player. I like playing the trombone because it's such a unique instrument.
It's more than a pastime. Music is a passion for the students at J.P. Taravella High School in Coral Springs, and it's been that way for the school band's 40-year history.
It's a big deal for us. We like to uphold the traditions of the band.
A tradition of travel. The band has performed at unique places. In fact, a few years ago, Neighbors for Neighbors supported the group's travel to perform at President Obama's first inauguration.
The kids are representing South Florida on the world stage.
Recently, another invitation came in, this time a royal request.
In recognition of an unparalleled reputation for outstanding performance abilities, Her Majesty's Deputy Lieutenant for London's New Year's Day Parade.
But with this invitation comes the challenge of getting there.
A lot of our families, especially with the economy and the area that some of our students come from, it's hard for them. It's hard for them to put together funds for this trip.
Unfortunately, the schools don't give as much to the arts as they used to, and we have to supplement it by doing fundraisers.
So the band banded together to start fundraising and reached out to us to help spread the word.
We've come up with creative ways of getting funds.
This year we've done more than we've ever done in the past.
And they're turning to the community they hope to represent abroad for support.
It's because of programs like this, and it's because of things like this, like Neighbors for Neighbors, that really pitch in and with the community support to really help us get there.
I sure hope people will take the extra step to kind of help out the band program.
The Neighbors for Neighbors Back to School campaign works hard to make sure all students go back to school with the supplies they need to have a successful school year. All summer long, school social workers help identify students in need. Our collection effort, in partnership with the Children's Services Council of Broward County and other local nonprofits, ensures that some of the most vulnerable students receive backpacks, clothing, and supplies for the year. Just $30 outfits a student for the entire year. You can head over to neighborsforneighbors.org to make a secure credit card donation. Nonprofits across South Florida are making connections with skilled volunteers at helpingfeelsgood.org. Whether you're a volunteer or a nonprofit organization, it's easy to log on and get started.
It's just such a good program to match volunteers within the community to our clients because there's such a need amongst our clients in the community.
For organizations like the Center for Hearing and Communication, filling those needs can be a challenge.
We are the only full-service agency in Broward County serving the deaf and hard of hearing population. Everything from case management to after-school programs, therapy, audiology.
Lots of services, lots of clients, but limited resources. So they registered at helpingfeelsgood.org to find help.
It's really nice to be able to partner up, again, with Neighbors for Neighbors to find these volunteers.
Volunteers like Joshua Jameson, a veteran and substitute school teacher who caught a public service announcement for helpingfeelsgood.org while watching CBS 4 News one morning.
The name caught my attention, and I decided to go on and log in and signed up. And about 2 hours later, I got a call from the Hearing Impaired Center, and they had asked me to be a match for Khalil.
His profile matched with a project for Khalil, a dedicated high school student looking for a tutor to help him prepare for the FCAT.
He helped me a lot, and I understand what he's saying. He helped me better, improving things like homophone or syndrome or any of those type of things.
In just weeks, Khalil and his parents say they see a difference.
With Josh working with him from the Neighbors for Neighbors program, we've seen where he's more attentive. Josh, he was able to break it down the way he would understand, go slower for him, and I've seen positive changes.
And Khalil isn't the only one. Josh reached out and shared his excitement with us online through Facebook.
When I got connected with Khalil, I was able to go on, say Neighbors for Neighbors, and it was right there to use. The name says it all, helping does feel good.
As it turns out, receiving the help does too.
I want to thank you, Josh, for helping me a lot and improving or come here for tutoring me. I'm happy and I thank him for that.
We'd like to thank our generous supporters and underwriters for helping Neighbors for Neighbors continue to make community connections for our neighbors in need. The Herbert Hoover Foundation, CBS 4, and MyTV 33. We hope these stories have touched and inspired you. They represent only some of the good Neighbors for Neighbors does all year long. And we couldn't do it without you, our viewers, our neighbors. Your generous contributions allow us to help families in crisis rebuild their lives. Donations are tax deductible, and you can go onto our website at neighborsforneighbors.org to make a secure credit card contribution. If you would like more information, please call our phone bank at 305-597-4404. Thank you for joining us. I'm Nicole Maristani. Remember, you really can make a difference by helping our neighbors, and helping feels good.